Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we are going to be doing a not so unique build, I guess, because right now everyone is anticipating the next expansion pack, which is The Sims 4 for rent. And we can appreciate that it's going to be a fun pack, even though the name is just awful. So I decided to go the industrial route, which is not something I usually do, but we are in Myshuno on the old salt house lot, where that older looking building usually is, and I bulldozed it and decided to build this really cool and unique industrial building that's been converted into apartments. So out front here, this is just like the little entryway. I used these doors and windows from the Greenhouse Haven kit because I thought that they would look really, really cool and give like a little edgy / industrial vibe, but still look very pretty, like they're brand new entryway windows. And I like that some of them are open and some of them are closed. So here is what we have so far. And you're going to see a lot of cutting in and out because I was working on it. It took me about, 3 days. 3 days with like an hour to 2 hour build sessions each because I was very limited between getting ready for Thanksgiving and then my kid getting sick, and then me getting sick, and the whole family. We are all just ill at the moment. So if you hear anything weird in my voice, it's because technically I am currently sick. But I really, really wanted to just finish this already because it's just been sitting here for now 2-3 days. I had to work Black Friday weekend, and it was crazy, and I toughed it out. And then today is the Sunday after Black Friday, and I just couldn't do it. And my husband couldn't stay at home either. So I had to stay home with the kids and watch them, take care of them, and try to take care of myself. And they are now napping, so we're taking the opportunity to try to get this voiceover done, especially before I lose my voice, because that always happens. As soon as I get better, I lose my voice. Like, my body just gives up. Now, back here, we are going to be putting in almost like a little fire escape situation with these industrial steps from the werewolves pack. And then up here, this little square that I'm kind of leaving blank at the moment is going to be like a rooftop bar kind of section. And you'll see when we get to that apartment, the very topmost apartment ends up being like a lofted bedroom apartment. It's really like cool, kind of minimalist, but like industrial to the core. It's all brick on the walls and like graffiti on the walls. Well, tasteful graffiti. It's mostly from like Horse Ranch and a little bit of cats and dogs graffiti. So it's not like, it's not like city quote unquote graffiti. And essentially it's mostly like Horse Ranch kind of stuff, but it's cool. I made it look cool. It's like really, really well mixed in, I think. And then down here, before we get too ahead of ourselves, this is like the front lobby area. So I had a hard time figuring out where everything was going to go. I did widen this little space here. That little rectangle ends up being a bathroom. So I put the little bathroom door there. And then there's like a little mailroom situation over here. And then over on this coffee table, I just put like some clutter, a little flower arrangement, a little tea light, a little selection of books. I thought that it looked really nice here. And then I decided to go with these Desert Luxe curtains, the really long ones, since it's a medium wall height down here. On this lower level. I think the middle level might also be medium wall height, if I'm not mistaken. And then the top floor is short wall height. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. It was so long ago. My brain is so tired. But I use this lovely bulletin board that I think is from, it's either from Get to Work or Discover University. And then the little trash chute I put down here as well, because I thought that made a lot of sense. Now over here, we're splitting up this very large bottom section. So this part over here is like the communal space with a tiny little kitchenette, just has like a mini fridge and a coffee pot and a microwave and a sink. And then I was thinking about putting a table and chairs in here, but I think what I end up doing instead is I do a foosball table and a pong table, and then I think a games table. And that's pretty much it in here. And then there's bar stools for bar seating instead. So I'm thinking like this is what the games room almost, and the lounge space for everybody in the building to just come and hang out. Maybe when they have like community days, this is like the indoor play area. And then out back, there's also going to be a large backyard kind of communal space with a hot tub and just lots of room for like gardening and hanging out and playing. There's some bikes back there. It ends up looking really cute. And it took me a very long time to really get the feel down for this. So I decided on this very interesting carpeting from university. And at first I was like, oh, carpeting in here would be so weird because there's like the little kitchenette. But then I also thought it was just kind of grungy enough to work. So that's where I went with that. And then over here, we're just adding some more decorations and plants to the inside lobby area. You'll see that like graffiti on the walls just there that I think is either from Horse Ranch or could even be from like Snowy Escape or something. I forget where that's from. I think it's Horse Ranch. And then these lovely new signs that came with the base game update. I have like the up the stairs sign, the little mail sign pointing right to where the mail is on the wall. And then I think I pull out another sign over here for this wall that came with growing together, and it's like a little like list of areas in the building, and I just thought it looked really nice, even though we don't have like a gym space per se, and like we don't have all of those spaces. I thought you just use your imagination and pretend, and then maybe when we get the new for rent pack, we'll get new signage for stuff like that. And I thought that would work out really nicely. And then using these Myshuno stuffed windows as well. I use these Myshuno windows all over the building because not only are they very industrial looking, but some of them are open, some of them are closed, some of them are bigger. Like they just kind of fit a lot of different spaces. And I thought they looked really nice here in the little kitchenette area, but we're adding a little bit of wall decoration. We have some knives on a magnet strip and a cutting board, some salt and pepper. Then I added these posters from Growing Together because they're like areas all over the Sims world, and I thought that was really nice to have. And then I was trying to figure out what was going to go on this wall here, and it took me a minute because I knew I wanted like a big mural piece. I finally picked this one out. This one is from Get Famous, and I thought that was just beautiful, like a lovely city skyline in the back, and just framed the area together nicely. Here's another, that's a base game corkboard, and then I think I add more decoration later, but you will have to just wait and see. And now we are working on, this is the landlord's apartment. It is actually very small and very compact. They have a pretty large kitchen, like as you can see all of the countertop space they have, and then they have a nice stove from Snowy Escape. The countertops and sink are from Parenthood, and then I use the Growing Together range hood above the stove because I thought it looked really nice. And then I did this like gray and terrazzo pattern on the countertops because I thought that was really nice, and I don't think I've ever used that before, but I like it. And the Parenthood fridge obviously frames in really nicely because it has like the built-in look to it. And I used a rounded window this time, base game rounded window, because I thought that just made the whole area looks so nice. If you saw just now, I was just kind of checking it out to see what it looked like. And then over here, I was trying to decide where our dining table was going to go because I assumed the landlord would still want a dining table in this space. And I think I end up picking the one from Dream Home Decorator. Yes, this one. And it is in the gray swatch as of right now, but I do switch it to be the matching swatch for those chairs. There we go. And then rearranging a bunch of the cabinets here because I wanted that little corner cabinet there and the little corner countertop piece there instead. And I moved the table over a little bit, and then instead where that dining table was, we end up putting a lovely little desk space instead. So here is our desk space. I use this one from Dream Home Decorator because it matches the table and the chairs and stuff. And I wanted to bring in some warm wood tones so it wasn't so gray and like cold looking. I wanted it to be a little bit more inviting. Pardon my sniffling. And then I added the computer from City Living. And now here is the landlord's bedroom. And I figure that like she or he is a loner and they really just enjoy their own alone time. So like their kitchen and dining room and office area is where they do like all of their work. And it's where they like to, they come in, they do their work for their landlordy things, their banking and finances and whatnot. That's why they have like a little folder system, which I put up there later, and like a little box of files for all of their tenants. And they keep very meticulous records, and that's like their business space. But then in their bedroom, it is very nice and private and just what they like. There's books, there's some nice art on the wall, there's a little reading corner. They have their TV and their cozy couch, which is from Paranormal Stuff Pack, and it's very pretty. And then just curtains over the windows to give them some privacy, lots of candles, all their clutter is on top of their dresser. Just nice, clean lines, neutral colors, very blue, very relaxing. And that is my thought for their apartment. Just really, really nice and cozy, nothing too crazy, they don't have a big family of their own. It's just them. And then maybe when they go on vacation or something, they go visit their family. That's like enough for them. They don't need a lot of stuff. And then here is the bathroom, and we have a very cozy little shower stall with some bathroom clutter stuff in here, these towels on the wall, and then I ended up adding one shelf that's like this with the towels on it from base game, and then another shelf that is empty, and it took me a second to really squeeze them together, but I got them squoze together, and then I add some clutter to those in a little bit. But then I wanted to continue into the kitchen because I never added the wallpaper that I wanted. I used this one from Parenthood because I thought it matched the countertops really well, but then over here I wanted a separation in wall color, so you just use this lovely like pastel yellow, and then I continue the flooring from outside, but then I decided to change it instead to this lighter tone. Like they refloored at least just their apartment here because they wanted a more light and bright feel for their living quarters. And then here's the little file box I was talking about, and then I add just some post-its and some pens, and also this file here that I use Tool Mod to adjust. I put it on top of that box, and it just fits so nicely. And also some hot cocoa over there in the corner because I have a feeling it probably gets a little chilly down here, you know? And don't worry, every apartment has a thermostat and a trash can and like a sink and a working bathroom. And I made sure that everything had, everything was where it needed to be, which was actually a lot harder. I didn't realize I forgot so many things, but everything is good now. And this apartment has everything it needs. So here is our little desk space all finished. I just added some clutter to the walls, like the little mail slot and the bags. And then over here on the counter, I wanted to add a knife block and a little cookbook selection here. And then I think I add something else, like some cooking utensils. And I think the only other thing I add is a little hanging plant over in the corner. And some spices. Here we go. And I add a little hanging plant over in the corner from Paranormal Stuff, and I kind of like put it like up under the cabinet over there, which you saw for about 2 seconds. And also that cup of coffee painting from Dream Home Decorator because I thought it worked really nicely in there. And that's pretty much it. Just finishing up in the bathroom here. And we have, I think, some plants going in. Yes, I put a little plant here in the corner because I thought it needed a little bit more green. It needed something else. And then I lost a little bit of footage here, so I took some footage after the fact because after I placed like the soap and the toothpaste cup, it just stopped recording again. Not sure why this time, but it did. So here is the bathroom all finished. I used the very industrial looking ceiling light. Here is the kitchen area all finished like we saw before. And later on, I actually do end up putting curtains on the windows as well, but there you'll see some like clutter where the sink was that I had not gotten on video, which is fine. Then we are working on the second level. Okay, this is a long one. This one took me a very long time, like I said, but we are working on the second level. So this is like the upstairs hallway space, and here it is pretty much fully done. There's like a plant. I do a little half wall with a glass fence thing on top, just some nice paintings and some nice lighting from Cats and Dogs, and then I think the rug may be from Cats and Dogs or it's from Base Game, one or the other. And then we're working on the floor plan in this apartment here. So at first this was only going to be a 1-bedroom, and you'll see that it looks like it's just a 1-bedroom. That's how I lay it out at first, but I do end up making it a 2-bedroom, and the second bedroom ends up being an infant's room. So there's a crib in there and not much else. Just some clutter, some baby stuff. And then there ends up being like a baby playmat out in the living room because I couldn't fit anything anywhere else. It was kind of a last minute decision. And then over here we have the kitchen, and I decided to go with this blue and yellow like style in the kitchen just because it was so out there to me. I was like, I would never in a million years pick this one, and that's why I'm picking it now. So I use this instead, and I think it looks really cool actually because it gave me a little bit of an opportunity to add more color and not have it be so bland, but I think it looks really nice. So there's a very nice little like wraparound kitchen situation. Right here is where I put the stove and the range hood. That's why I got rid of that countertop. And here it is, of course, the matching set from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. And then I'm just adding the trash can, and then I clutter up the shelves and stuff in a little bit, which I don't know if you will see on camera or not. It just might cut to the finished product. Like I said, I was working on this for so long and I had so much footage. I said I cannot make a 45-minute video of this, or like an hour-long video. It would take me so long. And I've noticed a lot of creators recently, when they've been making these videos about like making these large apartment complexes, they've been cutting out a good amount of footage. Like they've just been repeating the same bathroom, repeating the same layout, and just kind of throwing in little hints of like, oh, here's how the decoration is different here, here's how it's different in this room. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because as a viewer who would not be a creator, it's still enjoyable to watch. And then as someone who also creates, it's like, I get why you did that. This took a really long time. But over here, we are finally getting into the wallpaper and the living area. So I use the Book Nook kit bookshelves here to make a semi built-in section where the TV goes. And then I do end up adding like a plant in the corner here. And then I add some decoration on top of the bottom bookshelves, as well as this lovely painting here on the wall, because I just wanted to add a little bit more something. And then adjusting the saucer lights instead, I use this little hanging trio of lights from the Tiny Living pack. I think it's very cute. And then I think in the kitchen, I just keep the saucer lights. I just place them strategically because that makes sense to me in a kitchen. And there you just saw for a second we had the Book Nook rug, but here's all the clutter. I did a little end table coming in. Here's the bathroom. It's very simple. And then here's the bedroom so far, but I do end up doing more to the bedroom and bathroom. So this is what we have. We have our bathroom clutter kit essentials, obviously the same things I always use: the towels, the soap, the toothpaste, etc. And then I added some more clutter over here. And these windows here are base game, and I thought that they looked really nice with the industrial style windows, but obviously it's a bathroom, so you don't want an enormous open Myshuno stuff pack window in there. So, and then over here we just add a little bit more decoration, and I think I add a little towel rack again in there underneath that painting later on. But that was the first apartment, and now we have moved on to the second one. You will not see the bedrooms in the first apartment again until screenshots, because it took me so long to figure out, and it was just not worth it to me to finish it on video. But here is the second apartment. This apartment ends up being a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and their kitchen is still pretty sizable, but it's a little bit on the more IKEA side of things. I wanted this to be like a young couple's apartment, maybe like their first apartment, and it's very like, okay, we just gotta go run to IKEA real quick and grab whatever we can because we have nothing. So everything is very matchy, everything is like the same wood tone, and everything is like nice and safe. It's blue, it matches, and got like this trio of paintings. Again, almost everything is from Dream Home Decorator except the couch, which is from Book Nook Kit, and then that plant is from Jungle Adventure. And then I think I picked a little armchair over there, and I also add some more plants. And then I think the lighting I used was actually from Paranormal Stuff Pack. It was like this hanging lantern set. I decided after I saw that lamp to go very bohemian with the decoration. So there's like a little dream catcher on the wall, and then there's a lot more plants. There's like that little Bloomin' Rooms plant off to the corner, the hanging plant, and also the itty bitty one on the kitchen countertop, because I thought that it needed a little something right in the window. I thought it looked really nice. Couldn't decide what I wanted to put over here, so I picked out this lovely cookbook on the stand from Home Chef Hustle Pack. And then over here we have our lighting situation that you saw very briefly. I used the high school years inset lighting that goes underneath like the cabinets. I thought that looked really nice. And then we are deciding to put in a little threshold between the living and dining room, and then into the bathroom. It is very quick. It is a very standard bathroom, just a standard shower stall, toilet, sink. And I added a towel, a robe, and this little shelf from Tiny Living. And then we work on the bedroom. So again, a lot of Dream Home Decorator. I assume that they, again, got this from IKEA. It just matches all the wood tones really nicely. It's really simple. And I just wanted to keep it kind of warm and cozy and a little bit bohemian, hence like the rug in the kitchen and more plants and stuff. I was just trying to keep it like very youthful in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of old at this point, but I was trying to think about what I would have liked if I could have had my dream apartment. Now over here, you're going to see a little trick. I used the tool mod to rotate the mirror, and it took me a very long time, so I cut a lot of it out. But once I got it rotated where I wanted it, I used tool mod to raise it up ever so slightly, and that is the mirror off on its side, and I think it looks really cute. I've only ever done that once, and it gave me such a hard time. And here it was no different, but I did it and I was happy with it, and that's all that matters. And then some more tapestries on the wall. Those first little ones were from Horse Ranch, and then the big one is just from Base Game. And then we have some hanging basket lights from Eco Lifestyle to finish off that room. And I think it looks really cute. I was quite satisfied with it. And there's lots of blue, lots of cute lighting. The flooring is from Home Chef Hustle as well, and I added a little flower onto that table. Now we are working on the very industrial upper level loft apartment. So here's the 1 bedroom upper loft. Then that big area is going to be like the living area / office. I'm just adding some lights now, and then some bookshelves. And I kind of went with almost all the Base Game industrial category stuff, because I thought that would be the easiest way to go about it. So if you go into categories in your filters and you filter out for industrial, it pulls out a whole bunch of stuff. Now, it doesn't always make sense to me, but like some of them I said, this is not industrial. What are you talking about? And then I was like, how is this other item not tagged as industrial? That doesn't make any sense, but it's okay. It was a good place to start. And then I could see the direction I was going, because I'm not really a big industrial fan myself, but I like doing stuff like this for my Sims and like outside of my comfort zone a little bit. Because the first 2 apartments are just totally in my comfort zone. This one is definitely not. But here we have the very industrial vault countertops and cabinets that I used in the kitchen. And then I used the matching fridge. I do end up changing it out for the one I had originally, like the silver and black lines you'll see right here, because it matches the stove very nicely. And then I use this very cool range hood because it matches the colors on the fridge and stove. Same thing with the upper cabinets. And then I think I just end up going in with the countertops. I mean, with the cabinets. I'm trying to think as I'm rewatching because it's been a while. But I add that little like hutch piece there. I do have to adjust it slightly over because it was like clipping into the wall a little too far and it just didn't look right. So then what I did was I added a different end piece there so that it had a little bit more room, and then I could place it freely. And I think it ends up looking really cute. I like it very much. There's like a cute little sink area. There is, I believe, a dishwasher and also a coffee pot, and I think maybe even a stand mixer or something. I'm not sure. It's either a stand mixer or it's like one of those kitchen scales. I'm not 100% sure which appliance I added. And you'll also see like those hanging industrial style lights with like the leather kind of, I don't know what that is. It's really cool though. I enjoy it very much. I would like to have one of those in my home. I've always seen them in the game and thought, I bet that would look really, really cool. But just me rambling, I'm just going to go through. There's the stand mixer and decorate a bunch of stuff. I just wanted to make sure that your Sims still had room on the countertops to cook. And then over here, I'm just going to throw in, I think, one more plant here in the corner. And then we get started on the outdoor bar deck area. And I use these very tall tables from Tiny Living, I think. And then the chairs from Desert Luxe, and a lot of plants, and also these string lights from the toddler room stuff pack. And I also just grabbed the bar with like the lights on it, and I thought it looked really cute. And then we moved back. It was very quick out there. It took me a lot longer in real life, but I had to cut it short because it was just too much. And it was a lot of boring stuff, like just me rearranging tables until I liked it. There's the Book Nook rug again in all its glory. I just love it very much. And then we have a little bit of clutter on this entryway table. So like a lot of everyday clutter kit stuff, the glasses and like the notebook holder and phone and keys and water bottle, some workout equipment in a basket because I like that, and also a little entryway rug. And then I adjusted like the tables in here, the end tables, and like that plant a little bit. I also used tool mod to move the very industrial looking wall lights down a little bit because they were actually clipping into the ceiling when I went in to take pictures, and I did not like that. Here's some more Horse Ranch like graffiti on the wall that I'm adding just because I wanted to give a little bit more interest to the wall space, but then I'm thinking they don't want to drill into the brick and put, hanging pictures and stuff all over the place, because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So leave the lovely exposed brick alone, and then very simply decorated desk over here with a cute rug from, I think it's also from, what is that from? Dream Home Decorating? No, that's from Tiny Living. And then in this bathroom, it's a lot of black and white. It is very black and white, baby. And we got some tile all over the place. And then these hanging towels from the from the spa day pack, because I very much enjoyed that. And then some more towels. I added a hanging wall plant. Base game hanging wall plant here because I just liked it. I just like the way it looked. It gave a little bit more life to the room because it's not quite so, it's broken up a little bit with the black and white and a lot of clutter on that shelf. And the shelf that's in there is from Fitness Stuff Pack. It's not a very commonly used shelf on my channel, but I actually like it. And I think it works really well for modern or industrial styles. Over here in our little reading corner, I'm just going to be adding one more little plant. I put one plant on top of the bookshelf, one of the hanging air plants on the wall, and then that little jade plant next to the chair because I thought it was needing a little more. And then we have a coat rack, and I also thought about just adding one little pair of shoes, but then I ended up adding a whole shoe rack instead. So I got rid of that little pair of shoes once I realized I didn't need it. And then out in the hallway here, I realized I needed to add some kind of lighting. So I used the same lighting from the kitchen, and then this tree here I just sized down ever so slightly because it needed to fit better, and I think I used tool mod to size it down because I didn't want to do it a whole bracket key smaller. And I also used the same lights from inside, and I lowered it down 0.05 because it just needed a tiny bit lower so that it wouldn't clip into the ceiling. I do end up adding ceiling paint. I do that off camera, but you'll see they match the apartments very well. Up here in the loft, we are using these mirrored end tables, and the bed is from City Living. This room up here is a lot of City Living, but it's also a lot of base game industrial category stuff. And I also use those Desert Luxe curtains one more time in a very dark swatch. And then this mirror from Jungle Adventure that's leaning up against the wall because I like the studded look of it. It's very metal and industrial as well. And then on top of the dresser, I was going to put a mirror, but obviously I have a standing mirror, so that doesn't make much sense. I used this little framed memorabilia from a movie that came with Get Famous. And here you'll see the spandrels that I added to make rafters upstairs. And then I had to go through and delete all of the little fence pieces, which was a lot of fun. And if you do that, like I just did, it gets rid of your separation and it puts the floor back. So we don't want to do that. So pro tip. But that is pretty much it for the upstairs. I just added the nice ceiling lights from Fitness Stuff Pack. Those hanging kettlebells. I think they're really pretty. And then back here in the yard, I'm just working on landscaping because I wanted to make sure I got everything nice and lush just over in the corners in strategic places. And then I gave them a nice spot for gardening. We have 2 gardening boxes from the City Living stuff and a bird feeder, a bug box, and a bee box. And then over here, we shoved some bicycles right up against the fence line because I thought that just made a lot of sense that you would have bikes because you live in the city. And I wanted them to be all adult bikes because as far as I know, there's no children living in this apartment complex as of yet. And I know that a lot of the buildings could probably be reworked in the floor plan to easier fit a second bedroom or a kid's bedroom. So if you do that, let me know. Feel free to re-upload it, and then tag me or message me on Instagram because I'd love to see if you guys come up with a different kind of floor plan. It's always good to see what you guys can come up with because, one person's eyes on this at a time, it sometimes it takes a village, you know what I mean? Sometimes it takes another person to point out, oh, hey, look, you could have done this a little bit differently. And then we are just adding some outdoor decorations. You'll see a little bit of that bedroom in there that has a tapestry on the wall. Yes, and it comes out really cute. So you'll see that in the screenshots. And then we add these fencing pieces from Snowy Escape, and that's pretty much it. So here is the completed outside view of our old Salt House apartment building. I think it's really, really pretty. I really enjoy the shape of it. I love how the windows kind of line up on the bottom, but then up top they're just slightly off. And I don't know, it just looks really nice. I very much enjoyed building this one. It took me a really long time, and I'm also super excited for the for rent pack. So if you enjoyed what you saw, please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if there's anything else you want to see. I know somebody suggested a cottage rental, and I thought that would be so cool, so I'll probably be working on that next. I just had to finish this one first. It was the only thing on my mind. But if you guys want to see anything else, please be sure to let me know, like that subscriber did in my last video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys.